Started. All right, and let's kick it off. Welcome to Thriving Thursday. Today, we're going to be covering how you can manage energy for optimal performance. Now, what does that mean, right? So, we have capital in our lives. We have relationship capital, we have financial capital, we have energy capital, we have just total overall capital in different areas of our life. So, to me, what that means is that how much bandwidth, how much literal percentages of things do I have that I can give? So for my relationship capital, I've been building that for years. I built a relationship capital with Eric, who is right here with us, right? So Eric and I knew each other since 2010. And I built relationship capital with him because I liked him when I met him. He was a good dude. I could tell right away. I've always been a good judge of character, and we got to know each other and talked a lot on the ship, on the deployment we were on. And he's been following me. He's been watching my videos, and because of that relationship capital, he decided to, see what this was all about. Who's iPhone? Who just joined? Who's down here? Who's iPhone? Do we have an intruder? All right. Who is iPhone? All right, we'll keep going. I'm sure it's maybe it's Wit, the newest join. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I am definitely gonna have a hard time sleeping tonight with all that I've built up today. Oof. I am on 10 today. All right, let's present to view. Oh, present full screen. All right. Let's see. Tashi, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen? Cool. All right. I'm not sure who iPhone is. I think it might be Wit. All right, so let's
It's me,
off.
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, hi.
Yes, hi.
Let us see your beautiful face. Wait, Lisa, is today? Is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow, right? Your birthday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's your birthday. Everybody, do me a favor. Before we get started, take yourselves off mute and wish Lisa a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, cool. Yeah, Lisa, we want to see your beautiful face. All right, I think we got you. All right, cool. So we're going to kick it off. So we build up capital in all areas of our lives, right? And sometimes it's very easy to forget because we don't realize how much capital we're building up, because sometimes it's something that lasts for years. And it's one of those things of just storing energy in the bank and realizing that the good relationships that you have, the good decisions that you make on a day-to-day regarding when you wake up, how you wake up, the decisions you make right off the bat, they're going to build capital for the future. And that might be capital that you use that afternoon, right? It might be capital that you use a week from now. So how do you manage that energy for optimal performance? And we're going to dive into it, but give you an example. If you wake up and you had a good night the night before, you're more likely to succeed that day because you've already set yourself up for success from the night before. Because if the night before you made the decision to eat something late at night, or you had a drink, or you stayed up late night scrolling on TikTok, watching Coach JP's videos, you're more than likely going to have very, very bad sleep, because not only are you probably not going to go into deep sleep or REM sleep quickly because you ate something and the alcohol definitely messes with that, but because of the blue light, you're not likely going to get good sleep. So you're already in the negatives, right? So when you wake up, now maybe you're running late. Now maybe you don't pack your gym bag. Now maybe instead of eating something healthy that morning because you were going to make yourself maybe, eggs with bacon, now maybe you decide, you know what, I'm not going to eat breakfast, or I'm going to grab a donut at Dunkin' Donuts with my coffee. Now you're already in the negatives, right? Because you've made a bad decision. You're losing capital compared to if you woke up and you had the meal prep that you already made the night before. Maybe you made overnight oats, and you wake up with energy, and you set your alarm the right way, and you immediately wake up and you throw on a podcast, or you jump into your ice barrel if you have one, or you take a cold shower. You're building up capital. You're building up capital because you're making the right decisions. And as your day goes on, if you have to reach into that energy capital, you can do so. So let's just say that your morning goes super well. You do all the right things, but then on your way from work to the gym, your tire pops. Boom. This is likely to cause something in you, right? You're going to be angry. maybe you're frustrated. Maybe you start immediately thinking about your financial capital. And like, do you have enough money to pay for this? Like now you're going to miss the gym. Now this. But here's the thing, because you've been working on your capital and you've been building up your decisions and you've been making better and better decisions, you're more than likely to handle it a lot better than you would if you were in the negatives. So yes, it's an inconvenience, absolutely, but it's a hardship that you are going through. But because you've been putting yourself through intentional hardships, because you've been making hard decisions, because you've been doing the cold showers, because you've been waking up early and doing your workouts, because you've been eating healthy foods, believe it or not, you have energy in your capital tank to take on this freaking like catastrophe that's really not. You change a tire. Maybe you call someone to help you change a tire. And guess what? It's going to cost you. Yes. But because you're making better decisions, you are in a better financial place. It's not the end of the world. You realize all you have to do is move your workout over by one day. It doesn't mean you skip the gym, right? Or maybe you already did your workout in the morning. When you make better decisions in the morning, when you make better decisions overall from year to year, from day to day, from decade to decade, you're going to build up your life in a much better way. So this is the table of contents. We kind of covered this already, and we're going to go more in detail of each one of these. All of these encompass and they talk about a lot of the stuff that actually this. All right, we're gonna give Sam some crap for this because Sam is the one that helps me put these slides together, and he forgot to change the table of contents. So once we're out of here, we're gonna go and say, "Hey Sam, we forgot to change the table of contents." No big deal. That's not a big deal. All right, so understand energy types. So balancing physical, emotional, and mental energies is crucial for optimal functioning and sustained performance. And there really is a bunch of different energies, right? So when you balance your physical and you are healthy overall because you start making those little adjustments and eating better and just being overall healthier, you're going to, believe it or not, make better emotional decisions. You're going to have some more emotional capital in the tank. So when something negative that you perceive to be negative happens in your life, you're not going to react emotionally. You might respond a little bit more logically because you're building up that energy in your emotional capital. Same with mental energy. Believe it or not, like when you deal with anxiety, if you can find steps, series of decisions, series of things that help you deal with it better, you will better position yourself to deal with it in a much better way the next time. One of the things I identified right off the bat a long time ago was that when I start to feel that anxiety creeping up on me, if I can immediately, almost immediately hop into my ice barrel, that anxiety dissipates almost like that. And it doesn't come back for me. So therefore, like I've built this system that when I start to feel that, I can take a cold shower or I can jump in my ice barrel. And I've built up this energy of like me realizing that it doesn't happen as often. I don't feel it as often because I've built up systems of making sure that when I jump in my ice barrel, I can address it. I can do other stuff. I can move on from it. And it doesn't happen for me as often. Now, when can you realize that you have an imbalance in these areas? When you feel that fatigue, when you are extra irritable, because you might feel like irritability is part of life. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not. Like if you, and you know this deep down inside, if you find ways to work on all the areas of your life, the things that draw attention away from you and draw energy away from you, little by little, if you start addressing them eventually, you won't feel irritated. You won't feel like it's an issue because it is just something that gives you added value in life. When something negative happens to me, I try and position it and look at it as how can I learn something from this? How can I position it so I reframe it? And no matter what, it's an added value where I am taking something away from this. And if you have irritability, if you feel that lack of focus, all of those things are signs that you have an imbalance in your life and you are not giving enough attention or enough capital investing in that area enough into your life so you are overall well-rounded, right? All right, physical energy is the foundation. And we talked about this. When you can wake up and do that walk or do a workout, you are setting yourself up for success because you are building up that resiliency in your overall life because you're telling yourself that even when I'm tired, even when I don't want to, even when maybe I missed a meal, if I make the decision to do this workout, do this walk, do this cardio activity, you're positioning your mind to understand that it is a priority. And not only that, but when you do it, what comes afterwards Show of hands, who feels great after they get a workout in? Nobody ever regrets finishing a workout, right? So like when you do the workout, your mind has now learned that even though you didn't want to do this, because you did this, you are in a plus. So I was talking to Gary earlier. I was explaining, or is it Whit? I was talking to Gary and Whit, and I was explaining that when you start from a neutral position and you get here, right? So you started the morning and you did your workout because you had no issues with it. This is how much progress you make, right? But when you wake up and you have a bad morning and you don't want to do it and you're angry about this and you're running late, if you can still do your workout and you end up here, this is how much progress you've made. Yet you've come from the negatives all the way here. And that is huge because you're learning a valuable lesson that even when you don't want to, when you can do it, when times are hard, there's much more of a lesson to be learned there than you just automatically doing it day by day. And it will get to that point where you do it automatically day by day, but like regular physical activity, it keeps you happier and it's in a much better overall mood. And with balanced nutrition, like that provides a lot of energy for you. And that's what's good for you overall. Now, of course, sleep. Sleep is a thing that like scientists have tried for years to recreate, and they can't do it because you can't recreate what sleep does to the body. And you might have been telling yourself for years, like, I'm just not a good sleeper. Like, I stay up late. I'm a night owl. Those are just things that we tell ourselves because we don't want to do the work. Like, I for years told myself, like, I can't sleep. My ADHD keeps me up at night. It's a lie. Like, it's definitely harder because of my ADHD. I have ADHD, but like, I can tell you right now, if I do 5 things between now and the time that I want to go to bed, and I do those 5 things and I don't do other things, I will be able to fall asleep, even if I feel a little bit hyper energy right now, even if I'm in a hyper energy state, because these 5 things will make sure that my mind winds down, my body winds down, my entire like overall circadian rhythm understands that it's time to shut down properly. I release certain chemicals into my brain to make sure that my brain winds down, and I listen to certain things so that way my hyperactivity in my brain, which is separate of my brain sometimes, because sometimes I'm thinking about something and sometimes my brain won't stop thinking about other stuff. As you can see right now, I'm rambling. I can shut that down too. So it's not about me telling myself like, I can't do this, or I'm not a good sleeper, or I've always been this way. Those are things that you just tell yourself because you don't want to do the work. Because if you accept that you can get good sleep, if you made the right decisions and you don't do those things, then it's your fault. It's your responsibility. I got news for you. Either way, it's your responsibility. It's your fault, right? So just because you tell yourself that I'm not a good sleeper, or you know what, because of this, I can't do it, like it's still your responsibility. And how do we do that? Well, like, there's a whole another coaching call on that. By the way, for the new guys, if you haven't seen it, you can search sleep module in the app or in the Facebook group, and you'll see the coaching call for sleep habits and routines that will help you get better sleep. All right, moving on. Harnessing emotional energy. So surround yourself with positive people. And I really do mean that. Like, your environment helps maintain your emotional energy. The number one thing that people have found, studies have found, Harvard did a study that the number one thing that can really kind of determine a person's success in life is their environment. So like, if you surround yourself with negative people, if you surround yourself in environments that are going to keep you stuck in place and comfortable, like that's as far as you will go. Like, we can always feel comfortable. We can always, feel that at the end of the day, I'm happy with where I'm at. But are you, or are you just limiting your growth because you don't want to be uncomfortable? Like, doing more and realizing that the beliefs that you have are the things that are holding you in place, that's uncomfortable, because that means that it's on you. That means that you're taking the ownership away from society, away from you being a victim to your circumstances, and it's on you. So like, you have to make a decision. Do I need to cut off this friend? Do I need to limit my exposure to this one, coworker who always just wants to complain about work? Do I need to stop going into that Facebook group of, veterans that all they do is complain and bitch about society? Like, is this negatively affecting me? And it's hard to accept that, but you can't help everybody. And it's also not your responsibility. Your responsibility is yourself, because I promise you, by you taking care of yourself and you living your best life, the byproduct of that is that people that respect you, people that you influence, your kids, your wife, your husband, your friends, your peers, you will make them better because they will see that it's possible. And if they want to be better, they will become better through you and they will learn through you. But if they don't, they won't. And just remember, it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is yourself. And that's very important because your environment, you have to protect it. Negative environments can steal your energy and like take control of your life. And then once that happens, we just allow it to happen. And then it's this never ending cycle. And believe it or not, like having positive people in your life does make you a better person. I feel energized every time I'm here with you guys. I feel uplifted. Every time I do my check-ins with you guys, like I was up late last night till 3 in the morning finishing check-ins. By the way, if you didn't do your check-in last week, make sure you do the upcoming one, okay? And if you just got started, you won't have one. No, you'll have one this upcoming week. Gary, you won't have one until 2 weeks from now. But places like the Savage Squad, it can help create a safe and uplifting space to actually pursue goals and be vulnerable. And I think a lot of you have experienced that. I know many of you have been willing to be vulnerable and share. And remember, there's power in vulnerability. When you decide to be vulnerable, when you decide to test the waters and realize that when you share something that you're showing your underbelly, you're showing that you can be attacked and you can be hurt and you're not hurt and you're not attacked. And instead you actually get support and you get love and you get reassurances. It's one of the most positive things that you can get. Because again, when you start at the neutral spot, this is the progress you make. But when you start at this vulnerable spot of fear and you realize that it is safe, this is the progress you make, right? So it's very important to understand that surround yourself with positive places and people and things. Like it's very important to do that. Mental energy. Mental energy involves focus, clarity, and creativity. Implementing strategies like time blocking and prioritization to enhance cognitive performance and avoid mental fatigue. Regular breaks, hobbies, and learn new skills keep the mind agile and engaged. Well, what I have to say about this is that the way that I protect my mental energy is by not allowing things to take up my mind or my overall energy, because my mental energy to me is tied to my overall energy. So like if I get a text message that I don't want to reply to, I don't reply to it. If I get a phone call that I don't want to answer, I don't answer. If someone asks to meet with me or they want to catch up or this or that, there's a reason why we haven't. And that might sound really harsh, but like, are you moving towards something in life? And if this person can provide value and it's someone that you want to spend time with, then do so. But don't feel like you have to say yes to everything. Exercise the power of no. We covered this on Monday. You find yourself in a season of no right now because for so many years you've been saying yes to things. It's put you where you're at. And if you want to change where you're at, if you want to change the dynamic of the relationships you have with people where you find yourself at, you have to start saying no. And it can be temporary. It can be just for this season. You can say no. Your family might be like upset about it, but whatever. I promise you, they're still going to love you. And because you become a better version of yourself, they will celebrate you for that. Nothing is permanent, right? Some things can be temporary. For me, time blocking and putting every single thing on my calendar, my check-ins with my clients, my check-ins with my coach, my workouts, my lunch, my sleep time, every single appointment, every single thing that I have in my life goes on my calendar. Why? Because it makes my action threshold shorter, right? Like it lowers my action threshold. If I have to look up in my notebook and look at my emails of where's this linked and where's this that, my action threshold to get things done goes up. But if I want to lower my action threshold, I use Post-it notes. And you guys can see that. I mean, look at all these Post-it notes that I have, right? So Post-it notes are something that lowers my action threshold. It protects my mental clarity because I can see it right here. They're bright. My watch is orange. That way I won't lose it. My phone is orange. That way I won't lose it. That helps protect my mental clarity, believe it or not. And it might sound silly to you, but I can't tell you how many times I used to lose my phone when I had a black phone case, right? My water bottle, it's not around me, but that's orange. Things that I can do to lower my action threshold protect my mental energy. Because when I have to use my mental energy of like, where did I leave my keys or where's my watch? Or, you know, did I put gas in my car? I literally have put gas in car every 3 days because it might sound silly to you, but that way I never have to worry about like, I have less than or less than a quarter tank of gas and I have to take an hour drive to somewhere. And now I have to stop to get gas and now I'm running late. Everything that you can do to lower your action threshold and make your life easier will give you mental energy, because when you have to use your mental energy for it, you're burning that mental energy and you're going to have less capital there. I have a whiteboard in my room. Many of you have seen it. It literally lists my action morning steps. And I think Tashi saw it. Like number 2 on there is take a poop. Like, it's on there. You might think it's hilarious, right? But let's be adults here, right? If I wake up and I jump in my ice barrel, and that's the first thing I do, 3 minutes in the morning, and I get out of my ice barrel and I don't take my morning glory, right? I'm more than likely not going to eat my breakfast right away because I'm still full, right? Relatively speaking. And if I miss my breakfast, or if my breakfast gets pushed to the right, then my lunch might be thrown off. And then before I know it, I'm at work and all of a sudden my stomach is upset because I didn't do my morning steps. So like things like that, it might seem silly to you, but I promise you, if you can come up with a system to lower your action threshold by having things that make your life easier. I go to bed and I throw my shorts on. I have shorts that I wear when I go to sleep, because that way, as soon as I get up out of bed, I walk my happy ass to my ice barrel and I just jump in. I don't have to change clothes, right? My gym bag is packed from the night before. That helps me lower my mental energy. I don't have to worry about, do I have all my stuff? And guess what? In my car, I have an extra towel. I have extra pairs of shoes. I have extra socks. I have a protein container. I have an extra pre-workout. I have an extra blender bottle. I have an extra everything. Besides headphones, I forgot to add extra headphones in there. And today I had to come home and get headphones because I didn't have headphones for the gym. But with that, I'm protecting myself. I'm lowering my action threshold, because if for some reason I get to the gym and I forgot my towel, like I've done before, I've taken care of myself. Past me is protecting future me. Does this make sense? Raise your hand if this is hitting home with you. Like, if this is resonating with you, if this is like truly like, damn, like I want to start doing some of these things, like raise your hands, right? Because this is important for me. I hope it's important for you. All right, power, rest, and recovery. We've kind of talked about this. I've explained the importance of sleep. If you do too much scrolling on social media, it's not going to let you rest. Your brain is going to stay active. You have to learn to listen to your body and learn that, like, putting the phone down an hour before bed, turning off the lights, putting on some binaural music if your brain has trouble shutting down, like doing all these little things is going to help your body shut down. I take magnesium threonate about 30 minutes before going to bed. I have a watch that I wear every night, and it actually will shock me in the morning. It's called the Pavlok watch because I have trouble waking up. So I've lowered my action threshold. I don't have to set 15 alarms. I have one thing that goes on my wrist. It vibrates 5 times, and typically that wakes me up. And if that doesn't work, I get a shock to my wrist, and that'll wake me up. And then the only way to shut it off is to do 5 jumping jacks, right? So like I've set that up because I understand that, like, I have to go to bed. And believe it or not, me knowing that I'm going to wake up in the morning lowers my anxiety at night, and I can go to bed much easier than me hoping I'm not going to be able to wake up. Because in the past, years ago, sometimes it happens, it's been 2 a.m, and then I'm like, you know what? I have to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm not going to wake up. I'm going to just stay up all night. That doesn't happen to me anymore, because I've been able to lower my action threshold by making sure that I have systems in place. I'm not on my phone. I take magnesium threonate. I have all these different things that help me fall asleep, and you can do that too. It's just about understanding that whatever you've told yourself in the past, the things that right now you still do that you know you shouldn't do, you need to remove them. You need to remove them because right now they are the reason why you can't get to that next level. You need to create your own balance. Nobody or nothing will do it for you. I will help you, but it's about looking at what is best for you. No book, no habit list, no perfect other thing is going to fit specifically for you, because we all have different things and different needs. We have kids, we have responsibilities, we have times that we have to leave and be at the house. Things are different, but understand that your unique situation isn't the only unique situation that you have, meaning that other people experience it as well. And simple steps like taking short breaks during work, if necessary, going for a walk, practicing gratitude when anxious, pulling out your journal and writing down the things that are coming up for you, and setting those small daily goals. Those things are important. Like, for example, one of the things I want all of you guys to start doing is that when you do your bi-weekly check-ins, when we talk about your goals, I don't want you to write lose 2 pounds or, go to the gym more next week. Like, come up with a number. right? I'm going to do 4 workouts in the next week. I'm going to make sure that I go to the gym at least, 5 out of the 7 days that I have on my calendar, because the success that you have will come from you actually achieving the things you said you were going to do. So the success that will happen will be a byproduct. You will lose 2 to 3 pounds by doing the things that you're supposed to do. But the way that you can gauge it is by understanding that, okay, I said I was going to do 5 workouts. I did 6 workouts. I'm better off because I did more, right? That's something I want you guys to start applying overall. We're all finding what works, and the Savage Squad is the best place to find ideas and share your own. I encourage all of you guys to post in there and be active in there. Overcome challenges in energy management. It's common to face challenges such as limited time, increased stress levels, and people pressures, especially during these winter months, especially when you get less sunlight, okay? However, you can effectively manage them by establishing clear limits. Like we've been talking about this, learning to say no, understanding you don't have to say yes to everybody. You don't have to pick up every phone call. You don't have to over volunteer yourself. It's okay to say, I'll get back to you. It's okay to check your calendar. Don't overcommit yourself. You can use the stress management techniques that we talked about and prioritize your own values and requirements. You should all be developing new values in yourself day to day. Your values should evolve. Your opinions on things should change. They should change, because if you don't change your mind about stuff, it means that you are kind of stuck where you've been, and nobody wants that. So learn to say no and say yes to yourself and the life that you actually want to build for yourself. Long-term strategies for sustained balance. To maintain long-term success, don't reinvent the wheel. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to change everything about your life. Like, it's not about doing more. It's actually about doing less. Less binge eating, less time watching TV, less time scrolling on social media, less time wasting time, right? Because if you do less of those things, your schedule, your capital will open up much more. And then without even knowing it, you're actually doing more of the things that help you in life. More sleep, more time for your workouts, more time to schedule your workouts, more time to plan out your week, more time to do your finances, more time to have time with your kids and your wife or your husband. You do less of the negative things. I promise you, the positive things won't become as hard to do because you're not wasting your capital in those areas of your life. Like I mentioned, if you stick to the basics, good sleep, healthy food, and like killing your workouts, you're going to see progress. That will be a byproduct of what you're doing. The journey is part of the progress. That's the most important part of the progress. Our biweekly check-in is also crucial for checking on your progress and adjusting your plan. I can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. I want you guys all to stop typing one-word answers in there. You know who you are. Give me more. Like, I need more to work off of, and I promise you, if you give me more to work with, you will get more value out of it, okay? Homework. This week, I want you to conduct a personal reflection. Track your physical, emotional, mental energy levels at different times of the day. If you already got a journal for the program, use the journal. If you don't have one, I encourage you to get a specific journal for the program and use it for coaching calls. Take notes. Act on the things that you want to change. And when you have that feeling of negativity, jot some thoughts down. Or same thing, when you're feeling positive and you notice, like, today I feel great. And the reason why is because I actually went to the gym this morning. I ate my meal that I had. I had a great lunch. I made a phone call that I've been avoiding for months, and nothing bad happened. And now I'm headed home at the right time because I didn't tell my boss that I could stay for overtime, even though I knew that, I didn't want to. And like, you did all these positive things, like jot those things down because you will remember how great you feel. What does my energy level make? When does my energy level make it hard to go to the gym, eat my meals? Think about that. Like, if you've been trying to go to the gym at night and you keep failing, like, you're only failing if you don't learn from it, right? So what do we learn from it? Maybe we're learning that going to the gym at night just doesn't work for you. And that's okay. To be honest, there's pros and cons of both, right? In the morning, your body's a little less warmed up. It takes a little bit longer to get warmed up, but everybody's sleeping, less people in the gym. Right? Like, that might be a better time for you to do it. And it's not impossible. If you've been telling yourself like, oh, I'm just not a morning person. Same thing as you telling yourself that, you're a bad sleeper. It's just lies. It's just what you tell yourself because you don't want to do the work. Like, it's possible. There's ways to wake up with energy and intention. Think about yourself. I mean, am I helping myself with getting enough sleep, quiet time, and proper nutrition? All these things are important. So like, during this week, do a personal energy reflection. Think about where you're at. Think about where you can start spending less energy and less capital and start investing in other places of your life. Where are you balancing your life? What are you giving too much to? Are you saying yes to too many people? Are you overcommitting at work? Are you overcommitting with friends? Are you truly even making time for yourself? Because I'll tell you right now, if you finish your week and you missed 2 workouts, but you had time to go and have a beer with your buddies, and you had time to go and watch the freaking football game or whatever the hell, or you had time to take a 2-hour nap in the middle of the day because you were tired, you have wasted your energy capital and you have made a decision that's going to tell you consistently that you can't commit to the things that are important to you. And we've talked about this. It's about devotion, right? All right, that's going to be it for today. Let me turn off the screen share. I never know how to turn this. All right, here we go. Stop sharing. All right, guys, do me a favor. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to share, feel free to take yourself off mute. If this hit home for you, let's talk about it. Waking up to electrocution. Yes, Eric, I'm serious. It's called the Pavlok. I thought it was a gimmick for years. I saw it. I never thought it would work for me, but after I was late for work by 2 hours, I'm like, I got to do something. I know I overslept for 2 hours. I sleep through all my alarms. Because of how I go to sleep, it's hard for me to wake up in the morning. Right. I would love to be able to, like, I wear eye covers to go to sleep because the pressure on my face, and it has microphones. I'm sorry, headphones. So I listen to binaural music, and those 2 things combined with other things that I do, like, put me to sleep quick. But because of that, I can't wake up to sunlight as much as I'd love to. I would love to be able to have a freaking machine that detaches the eye covers in the middle of the night for me. And then I have this light that wakes me up in the morning, but it just doesn't work for me that way. So I do have this watch. It's downstairs. I wish I had it with me, and it will literally shock me. And it builds like it's the Pavlov theory, right? It builds this thing in me like, oh, it's time to wake up. So initially you start by shocking yourself, and then eventually it has Brandon, it has an alarm, and you can set it to vibrate, so it'll vibrate 5 times, so it kind of wakes you up and you know it's coming, and then eventually you can get up on your own. But sometimes I'll wait for the shock. Feel free to take yourselves off mute if you have any questions, if you have any comments. Gary, what'd you think of your first Thriving Thursday, my friend?
I thought it was pretty awesome. Definitely, different than what was I expected, anyways.
What did you expect?
Not as informational. Definitely didn't expect a PowerPoint, but I love it.
So I got
it's
called out last
easy to
week.
follow along with.
I got called out last week. Jenny's not here anymore, but Jenny called me out. She's like, "Where was the PowerPoint?" I'm like, I didn't know if you guys really liked it. She's like, "Of course we do." I'm like, all right, I'll bring it back.
Yeah, it makes it easier
Veterans,
to follow along.
Was that
vets
Eric?
like PowerPoints one. Vets
I know.
like PowerPoints.
I know. I realized.
That's how we learn. That's how we're trained to learn.
I know. But I'm Gary, I'm glad you liked it. If anybody does have to hop off now, we typically go for about 30 to 40 minutes. So feel free to hop off. This is recorded, so it's posted in there. But if you want to take yourself off mute, ask a question, make a comment, it's open floor right now. We end this. Typically, I hang out for a few minutes. I got 20 minutes before one of my client support calls with one of my premier clients, Heather. But yeah, so we got 20 minutes. If anybody wants to hang out, if they have any questions, this is open Q&A. If you got to take off, just want to tell you, I appreciate you guys. Keep freaking killing it. Roberto, I'm happy to know you're in the gym. Steven, I hope you're doing well. Brandon, I'm happy to see you here. Sarah, I hope you're having a great week 1. Lisa, I hope you're having a great week 1. And Lisa, I hope you have a happy birthday tomorrow. Lisa, I don't want you to track any of your food tomorrow. You enjoy yourself, girl.
Thank you.
Sarah, how's week 1 going for you? And again, if you guys have to hop off, feel free, but I'm going to be here for a little bit if you want to talk or have any questions or anything you want to share. My legs are shaking. I feel like Bambi. Roberto said, "Oh yeah, today is Thursday. I'm not going to pull it up. I think today, yeah, you have lead day. Let me see if I missed any comments. Let me scroll up. All right. Heather said, wins walking without crutches and dropped 5 of the 8 pounds I've gained after surgery. Haven't throw punched anyone yet. Love it. Eric, not punching certain people should count towards community service hours. Eric's having incredible lazy when it comes to working out. When I do, I feel great though. Yeah, Eric, we'll talk. I think I self-destruct when I start doing what's good for me. Would love to know more about that. Eric, why don't you schedule something for tomorrow or the day after if you have time?
Sure.
Eric, you can come work with me. It's not frowned upon to punch people.
It wasn't in the military per se. It's just harder to adjust. It's kinder, gentler world now.
Brandon said,
My boss was a gunnery sergeant for the Marine Corps and a former cop, so he's all for it.
best of
Excellent.
both worlds. Brandon said, I'm trying to get a schedule again. I'm setting do not disturb on phone so I can put away 30 minutes before bedtime. And my mind can begin to shut down. Brandon, do you have an iPhone? Take yourself off mute, my friend.
No, I don't. I use my Android, but it
Okay.
does. It's a Google Pixel Fold, and so it's got the program to where it
Good.
it mutes, it
Good.
turns everything black, so it's grayscale. So it's not so appealing to want to use it.
Good. Yeah,
And,
the dopamine hit
mean,
of yeah. That's
yeah,
good. And,
hell,
and
man,
set it to
whatever
repeat.
it takes, you know.
Yeah, no, those things are very important. I've actually been meaning to do like an actual presentation on technology, but like I don't have an Android, so it'd be hard for me to talk about it. But like on my iPhone, it's hard to talk about this. My iPhone, it went like 1990s green virus screen on Saturday, and I took it in,
man.
and they couldn't fix it, so they had to replace it. And apparently, I didn't have a backup. So all my photos and all that, it's fine. I don't know why I didn't have a backup, but all my apps, all my settings, my focus modes that I had set up that I've taken years to create and curate, all gone. And I was upset about it for about 5 seconds. But a lesson that I took away from this, number one, make sure you have insurance on your phone. Number two, make sure you back up your phone. But the person that was helping me, super, super friendly, super knowledgeable. And I realized that the fact that I liked him, that I knew that he was telling me the truth and that he wasn't, that he was right, that there was no backup. It wasn't like he was wrong about it or he was doing his job wrong. The reason why I got over it very quickly was because I realized that he knew what he was doing. And if there was a backup, he would have found it, which means that it wasn't incompetence and it just is what it is. And I have to move on from it. So I realized that trust that I had in this person, because of they did such a good job for me. He actually got me a brand new phone for the price of just replacing the screen. Immediately made me get over the fact that there's no backup. I have to create this stuff all over again, and that's fine. Now I get to have fun with it and clean up the phone a little bit. So that was a real big lesson for me, realizing that trusting someone helps with, and I'm still playing around with it in my head. Feel free to jump in if you have an idea of maybe how to put it into words. But I just realized that like trusting someone helped me kind of get over the mental hurdle of I don't know. I'm still playing around with it in my head. But yeah, that's just how my brain works.
Well, wouldn't you say one, trust builds cooperation?
Yes.
And if you're in competition with every other human being that's around, you're constantly in a state of survival mode, and you
Mhm.
can't advance at all.
Mhm.
Which is why ancient tribal civilizations didn't necessarily advance as quick as, I don't want to say, larger sovereign nations can.
Mhm.
Right? Because a tribal battle between two different sects of people that are within 10 miles of each other, the consequences of that are much less dire than, say, two nations that contain 25 million people apiece. Right.
Mm.
And so the motivation to keep the peace is much higher.
Yeah.
But with that increased level of cooperation, you also have increased capacities for advancement as far as society goes.
Man,
And so
dissertation.
cooperation would breed advancement in that case, progression,
Yeah, you're absolutely
social
right.
progression.
I like the way you put it.
Damn,
Definitely
Eric
would have to
dropping
dissect
knowledge
that
on
more.
us.
I know. So yeah, I like the way you put it because
Thank you.
I think
Thank
to
you.
tie that to like my situation was that trust made me realize that there is no alternative scenario where he's wrong, and I do have a backup somewhere. So therefore, the trust that I had in him helped me cooperate with moving forward of it, instead of me being like, no, I know there's a backup. Like, can we do this? Can we try this? Like me prolonging the process. So like, yeah, there was cooperation immediately, and we move forward. And yeah, I like the way you put it. I think that's a really good point, Eric.
Thank you.
Do you think that trust builds cooperation in well, we'll talk offline. We'll talk more when you schedule something. I want to dive deeper into it.
Sure.
Brent said, I've said that we can't help others if we don't help ourselves first. We have to secure our foundation. We really do, my friend. And I see that you're putting the work in, Brandon. So I appreciate you doing that. And I did you watch your check-in video that I sent you?
I did. I just just like everybody else going 100 miles an hour. I was like, well, do I respond or get my ass in gear and get my workouts in? I figured you would respect the workouts getting done.
Either or is
But
fine.
I'm still, but I do plan on responding. But
It's
I got
okay.
up this morning and got busy.
I think action is a response, right? So like if to you what resonates with you is like taking the information in and then doing something about it, it's perfectly fine. But if you want to respond and talk further about it, also awesome. We're gonna wrap up here. I think I got everything. Yeah, Jordan Peterson said, put your own house in order before you put the rest of the world in order. I'm actually gonna see him next month again for the second time.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, he's doing
He's
a
coming.
tour.
He's coming to Omaha on the 22nd of February.
Yeah, I'm seeing
I got
him.
tickets.
Nice, man. Who you going with?
Girlfriend.
Love it. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, she got me tickets for Christmas.
If you get there, early, this is how he did it last year. I don't know if he's gonna do it again this year, but there's a QR code and you can ask a question. And if you get there early, you'll be one of the first questions that they put up on the board, and he'll actually answer your specific question. They have like a QR code. You can scan it, and you get to ask a question. He'll answer it, and he'll actually look into the crowd, and he'll ask who asked the question. He might address you privately too.
Mm.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up because I gotta get ready for this next support call. I wanted to tell you guys are all amazing. I'm freaking proud of all of you. I hope you took some value out of today. Remember that information without action is just noise. So make sure you apply it, and go and comment on Gary and Witt's new videos. They just joined. Gary is here on screen. I don't know where he is for you. He's right here for me. And then Witt, his full name is Witter, but he goes by Witt, W-I-T-T. He also just joined, and he should have a video up as well. Let's just go and show them some support. Let's make them feel welcomed. And Eric, set up a call for sometime this week. And you guys keep destroying it. Roberto, are you done with your workout or what, man? Take yourself off mute for a second. I want to hear those freaking dumbbells clanking around.
Finishing up right now.
All right, man. Get after it. All right, you guys have a great rest of your night. Lisa, happy birthday. I hope you enjoy it, celebrate it, and we love you, and I hope you have the best birthday ever. Yeah. You guys take
Thank
care.
you.
Have a great night. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I hope you guys have a great night. Talk to you later.
Everybody have a blessed night.
Blessed night.
Yep. Later, all.
See you guys.